What is going on, guys? Welcome to Movie Night. This is where we go on a journey through the history of cinema and try and figure out what we just watched. Tonight we'll be watching the controversial Japanese film Audition. Okay, I'm really nervous about watching this. I know what these types of films are capable of. I've seen other Asian horrors slash thrillers like Old Boy, Itchy the Killer and I Saw the Devil. But I can't say I enjoyed those films, but they're definitely experiences that have stuck with me to this day. I think everyone does have a bit of morbid curiosity for this sort of thing. So wish me luck, and I'll see you in 115 minutes. In Tokyo, Shigeharu raises his son alone after losing his wife. 7 years later, his son suggests that he should remarry. Shigeharu meets with his friend, who is a movie producer, and they come up with the idea of creating a fake movie audition to find Shigeharu a wife. After reading the applications, Shigeharu falls for Asumi, a sweet and beautiful girl. However, it soon becomes apparent that Asumi is not who she seems to be. I'm not really sure what I just watched there. I am in shock. That was intense. That last 40 minutes or so went so quick. I'm gonna have to have a couple of days to think about this. So.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again.
Okay, I've had a little bit of time to think about Audition. I've been trying to figure out if it's a good film or if it just relies on the shock factor and the controversy that it sparked back in 1999. Don't worry, I'm not going to spoil any details or anything like that for anyone lucky enough to see it for the first time. But yeah, I think I've reached my final verdict. So the film does start off a little bit slow. However, it's got a certain atmosphere about it. You know what these men are doing are morally wrong, like setting up a fake audition so Shigeharu can find a wife. However, you do kind of want him to find the girl of his dreams, because the actor plays it in such a way that he's not like a lad or anything. He does get quite embarrassed when he's auditioning, and he does say he feels like a criminal because, I guess he knows it's wrong. But he comes across quite sweet and innocent, so you are kind of rooting for him in the end. There's one scene where he's looking through all the applications, spills a bit of coffee on Asumi's CV, and he instantly falls for her after reading her biography and seeing her picture on the application. And it's done in such a way that you know something's up about her. You know there's something weird, but you have no idea what it's gonna be. So they start dating, and you slowly find out more and more about Asumi, and she always seems to have like a explanation to why something's up, but that feeling of something wrong is definitely what keeps you hooked, because you just need to know, and you know something big's gonna come. Then Audition just turns on you. It forces you to sit through shocking scene after shocking scene. It makes you so uncomfortable, and it literally doesn't care if you understand what's going on or not. I was finding it a bit hard to follow because it was going so quick, and it was peeling back all the layers that had been set up in the first half, but I needed to know what was happening. Some of the bits I was shaking. I experienced some of the worst emotions, and I even shouted at the TV. I was watching it on my own, and I shouted at the TV a few times, in disgust. And I did think about turning it off, but I was hooked, and I needed to know what was going on. Now, what I think sets Audition apart from other films in the same genre is the actual lack of violence. I'm glad I had a few days to think about it, because looking back, I realised it wasn't actually as violent as, say, Itchy the Killer and I Saw the Devil. It was definitely not as violent, and this is where Audition excels. It favours camera angles that shows you just enough to let your imagination run wild. and gives the impression of like a more violent scene than it is, and it couples that with like vivid sound effects, like that just cement it in your memory, like the scenes. And I'm thinking about it now, and I'm cringing. Oh, this definitely isn't a film you can enjoy. I can't say I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good film, and I can appreciate it. But in terms of enjoyment, nah, you can't. There's no way in hell you can enjoy this. I'm glad I've seen it. It's made me think. It definitely made me think. So that's got to be a good thing. I do recommend it if you're a fan of the genre. If you haven't seen anything like this before, you're in for a huge shock, and maybe it's not the best film to try and get into the Asian horror slash thriller genre. And maybe it's a bit too much. So, what do you guys think? Is Audition a good movie, or does it just rely on the shock factor? Love to hear your comments down below. Remember to subscribe to the channel, like the video if you like the video, and thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next movie night.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again, because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was